1.
Harmony, Chapter 12. The next day, I received a letter from my father. I stood shivering in front of our mailbox, staring at the long envelope. My father's name, prison address, and number in the upper left hand corner. My own name and address in my father's curling handwriting across the middle. It stood on our stoop and stared up the block. Two men were walking a gray dog. One said something and the other threw his head back and laughed. They were too far away for me to hear the laughter, but I could see it. Their faces seemed so happy, so free. I thought about what Amari had said the day before, about how none of us are really free, then looked down at the letter again. I had known my dad before he went to prison, but didn't remember any of it. Did he ever tickle me, throw me into the air and catch me? Did he ever push me on a swing in the park, or talk me through a tantrum? When I remembered those things, it was always my uncle I saw. I put the envelope against my nose and sniffed it. His letters always smelled like prison, like bleached floors and the vague hint of sour milk. My uncle was in the city playing music with some friends from his college. When I got back inside, the house felt too quiet, too empty. I sat in the window seat and held the envelope in both hands, turning it over and over. Outside, the leaves on the tree started blowing, silently, like the man's laughter. They had long ago turned brown, and above them, the sky was incredibly blue. I don't know how long I stared up at it before finally opening my father's letter. I was afraid. I think something inside my heart broke when he didn't come down for us when we last visited. Something I didn't even know was breakable just fell apart inside me. Dear Haley, I'm sorry I didn't show up last time. I would never not show up for you again. Not while I'm here inside. Not when I'm on the outside again. I know you have so many questions for me. One day I hope to be sitting at a table across from you. No inmates and guards around us, no noisy television, no cold gray room, no intercom blasting names and demands and rules. For as long as you could talk, Haley, you've only known me as a prisoner. I look forward to the day when that's no longer who I am to you. Love, your father. I got to the end of the letter and went back to the beginning. I'm sorry I didn't show up. Love, your father. I did love him. I'd only ever really known him in his prison uniform and inside those gray rooms. I'd only ever really known how hard he hugged me, how his eyes got bright when he saw us standing there, how it always looked like he wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. Love your father, no matter what. My uncle always said, you love your father. I folded the letter back into its envelope, ran my fingers over my name. My father's hand had written those letters. He had sat in his cell, bent over the page, and wrote those words. I'm sorry. Forgive and forget, my uncle said. Staring at those letters, I thought I could forgive my father. But I could never forget. I'd lock every moment of memory inside a room in my brain and hope they'd multiply like cells in our bodies until I was grown up and filled with memories. Maybe that's what made us free. Maybe it was our memories, the stuff we survived, the good stuff and the bad stuff. I climbed the stairs slowly, the third one creaking, the fifth one slanting downward. From memory, I knew how my feet would land on each stair. I knew how my door would whine as I closed it. I knew the water rattling through the pipes when my uncle showered and how the dog in the backyard across from ours barked every morning when its owner let it out. Everything around me was as familiar as my purple comforter, as easy as saying my own name. I sniffed the letter again before putting it in the drawer with the others, then lay down on my bed and wrapped my comforter around me.